Okay. Wow, I got one person up here. Damn, y'all fast, man. Feel free to say something whenever you feel. I just gotta do a whole bunch of stuff. Oh, okay. I thought I was getting trolled. All right, cool, cool. I'm gonna get trolled later. Oh my god. God, I feel terrible. Okay. So let's yap it up because I feel like let's yap it up because I feel like garbage right now and I'm trying to feel better until somebody decides to, until the universe decides to make me feel worse. Four people already? That's crazy. That is crazy. Four people already, and it's like, all right, if you like it, let me know. Also, feel free to actually say stuff because your boy is craving some interaction right now. At least some positive interaction too. I know how much people like to sort of just tell me how much they think I suck and whatever, but it's like kind of really not in the mood for that at this moment. I need something good to happen to me, bruh. Need some good stuff to happen. So how y'all doing out there? Because obviously you can tell by the title that I'm cripplingly depressed right now. So feel free to tell me how you guys are doing. Hopefully y'all are not also cripplingly depressed. Cripplingly. That word is complicated. I love the English language. Uh, Hope you get better and it all works out. Joining just to say this. I appreciate that. Quaz, that's very uplifting. Yeah. Well, I hope so too. Yeah. And just for that, I'm gonna give you a subscribe, man. Like that is very very appreciative. I'm pretty sure you probably like even if you don't make chance stuff, the day you decide to, just know you got somebody else waiting on it. So I really appreciate that. Thank you. Oh man. Mm. I love this. I love this color scheme in the video. Because it's getting dark. It's getting dark outside, so it's like it's starting to get like a little darker up in here. So this lighting is like the perfect level of moroseness and despair. That is definitely like this is my mood right now, man. I'm loving this. This is like a perfectly lit mood. I should have wore a gray shirt. I should have wore a gray shirt, man. That would have like been perfect. But yeah, this life thing, terrible. Am I right? Just awful. Zero out of 5 stars. 0 out of 10 stars. 0 out of 100 stars. Going outside, fat. Who needs it? Only being forced to go out there. But yeah, yeah. But yeah, like feel free to tell me how you guys are doing. You know what I'm saying? This is an interactive channel. Would definitely like to, hear what you guys got to say, whatever it may be. Hopefully it's nothing too terrible. Last thing I need is with the mood that I'm in is to be like further reminded that I am a terrible person or whatever. Also, 5 people up in here, that's crazy. Five, like, what's up? What are y'all doing? Life be life, and absolutely, it really does. It really, really does. Life be swinging and hitting. Like for some people, life is a giving hand, and for others, it's Bud Crawford. By the way, shout out to Bud Crawford for his big win. By the way, I actually saw that fight, and it made me realize that boxing is really a thinking sport. Hello, Miss Chrissy. How you doing today? Always a pleasure having you on, even though I'm pretty, I appreciate you, taking time out of your busy schedule to come see little old me as I have my occasional crash out. Um, but yeah, so I was watching bits and pieces of Nello and Crawford, and it was like I say, boxing. I'm good. I'm depressed actually. I'm not good. I feel terrible actually, but I'm trying my best to sort of like be cool about it. Be sort of chill, be kind of relaxed about it because I am definitely like I'm definitely in that mindset right now that has got me thinking about like kind of going back to some old ways of thinking, and I'm trying my best to avoid that a little bit. See, when I was younger, I used to experiment with like multiple ways to question like, what could I possibly do to just, you know, just punch out forever, right? And now and it's like I'm trying my best not to do that. And this is one of the few things I know that I can do to make myself feel better, or at least to some degree. So I'm just trying to do that. I'm doing pretty awful too, but I'm keeping it low key because I don't want to bring partner down. I don't like the fake positivity, but I don't project my negativity either if I can help it. I hear the word project all the time, and I have no clue what that means. I like oh God, I just remembered. I just made that video of I just made that video making fun of that other guy who died recently, and I know that there's gonna be like a lot of right wingers probably on here, probably just lurking my channel and just and oh God, man, they probably might be all up in here right now, like how dare you? What if somebody did that to you? It's like, bro, I'm black. If I get shot, like a whole bunch of races are gonna laugh anyway. Like that's natural. That's America. It's like going. This is one of the few times where I actually see something bad happen to a white supremacist. Think of a projector like in a movie theater. Yeah, it's like something that it spreads an image out. It spreads an image out. So yeah, I'm aware. Like it shows a image and spreads it out kind of big. Okay, yeah, all right. So showing. So projecting is just another word for showing. Is that what I'm getting? Is there a difference between projecting and just showing, or is it just a fancier word? Like I'm all up for premium English. I'm just showing what's inside the person. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So ultimately showing. Like I'm all up for premium English. I just thought it meant something else. Man, I'm cut deep right now. Okay. Alrighty, so but yeah, like obviously, so I guess we're all kind of having a little rough days, a little rough moments. But you know what? Hey, at the end of it all, it's gonna not. I would say it's gonna be okay, but like I'm not gonna lie to you, it probably might be okay for everybody else, but I don't know about for me. Projecting is like using Chromecast. I'm Okay. Sometimes people project their own person onto other into others under the guise of it being objective criticism of the other person. Is a common use for the term. Okay, but for your emotions, using Chromecast, you mean like the you mean like the internet server? I won't lie to you. I won't lie to you. I'm not a smart person when it comes to stuff like that. Man, I don't. I keep thinking that like hey, it's all gonna be worth it in the end. That's kind of like that's the thing. That's kind of one of the thoughts that keep me going. You know, like one of the thoughts that keeps me going is it's all going to be worth it in the end because I'm going to get something that I asked for. I'm going to get something that I worked for. My hard work ain't going to be for nothing. But it's like the more I think about it, the more it's like, man, I could work hard for a long time and get nothing, like zero, like get nowhere near close. I go like I could devote all that time and focus and energy into something, and it just won't work for me in any capacity. And that's a very like crushing feeling. It's like what was all that work for? Like what was all of that for? And yeah, that hurts a little bit. Like using Chromecast on your phone to watch a video on your TV. Oh, okay. I never did that before, but that sounds cool actually. Man, y'all ever like sit back and just ask, "What's it all for?" You know, like that Creed song, "What's this life for?" Man, Scott Stapp had the whole world in a chokehold at one time. Never what? You never asked, "What's it all for?" Like to be fair, that was a good song. What's his life for? Yeah, but I like to remain positive. Hello, we got Miss Mia in the building. What is up? No such thing as a good Creed song. Oh, I beg to differ. I was a big professional wrestling fan, and they played the heck out of Creed. So there was like three songs in particular that I truly grew to appreciate. One of them was My Sacrifice. The other one was What's His Life For, and obviously Higher. That doesn't make them good. I don't care. I don't care if you don't think that they're good, man. I like those songs. Just earworms. Don't care. Still like them. Homeboy is really up in here like, hey man, let me just damage your mood here for a second and tell you that some of your favorite songs were terrible. As if that's what I need to hear. And you wonder why your life is garbage. Yeah, I don't. I don't actually. I don't wonder why my life is garbage. I know why my life is garbage because I exist and nothing good is supposed to happen to me. I think that's the part that kind of sucks, really. It's like, man, your boy can't get nothing. I can't get nothing, man. I can't get like not just not a little anything. Nah, Megas is just giving me crap because he hates me, like God does. Stop listening to crappy bands like Creed. I haven't listened to Big Creed in years. I'm just saying that when they were around, I did enjoy them. Like I don't listen to music, bro. I don't just like I don't listen. I don't really don't like listen to music, or rather, the music that I do listen to, I don't. I don't really. God, I don't even remember the last song I listened to. Is it, yeah, but nah, dude. It's like I don't wonder why my life is miserable. I don't wonder why my life is terrible, man. I already know. Like I exist. I'm breathing. My life is terrible because I'm living it. part of me would like for it to get better, but it's like, I know now that is like, I guess it runs against some sort of, I don't know, some sort of divine code. Maybe God is like, nah, you can't really like do that for you, bro. You got to suffer through this. And I'm just sitting here like, I don't want to suffer no more. It's like, oh, that's too dang bad. Like that meme. I'll give you a break for a bit. I had to call my ex. Stay strong. You calling your ex, dude? Okay. Is- Well, get strong. Yeah, what else? Megs is here just to make sure that just to remind me that like hey, by the way, when you're down, best time to get kicked. Calling your ex though. I mean, hey, you're better than me. Like I don't even feel like calling anybody on the phone right now. Last time I did that, I got scammed. Your ex is literally here. I just said I don't feel like calling anybody on the phone right now. It's not a matter of me calling my ex as much as a matter of me talking on the phone. I got 7 people up in here. That's crazy. I literally am saying I don't want to talk on the phone in general. You're a better person than me because you're calling somebody on the phone. X or no X. I don't feel like talking on the phone. I am getting got all over the place again. It never ends. It never ends. It's just like it's just more frustration, more pain, more anger, more. Okay. God, man, I should just like I'm having those moments right now where I'm just asking, is it worth it? Is it really completely worth it? Is it worth it? You know what I'm saying? It doesn't feel like this life thing is really actually worth it. It really doesn't. Like I don't know. I'm just trying to find something to like just sort of keep me going. You have any idea how miserable your life has to be when your two positive thoughts are I mean, something's got to happen. Something right got to go for. Something has to go right for me. And two, I know at least I don't have kids. You know, it's like that's the only positive thought I have. It's like at least I ain't got children. Hey, on the good foot. No matter how bad it gets, at least I don't have to worry about dragging my kids through this hellhole of the life that I have to deal with. Man, if you play It's Raining Tacos in a room full of kindergartners, they'll lose it. Ask me how I know. Are you kidding me? They just like hold up, wait. It's raining tacos. That's my first time ever hearing about that. That is great. What do they do? Do they start dancing? That's the cutest thing I've ever heard. Wait, hold on. Did you have to play It's Raining Tacos? Like now I'm intrigued. I want to hear this story. Like, did you play It's Raining Tacos in a room full of kindergartners and just watch them just like get really happy? Happy children. That's something that's that's something that's worth it. Yeah, it's from Roblox. Oh, I didn't. Wow. Okay, that's news to me. I know Roblox made music. Yeah, Happy Children. That's definitely something like live for. I didn't have to play it. I My bad. Oh man. Was on when I was a recess aide. I played it during recess on my Bluetooth speaker. Wait, you can like bring your Bluetooth speaker to. Wait, you can bring a Bluetooth speaker to your job. We were on the playground. That's cute. They forgot about the swings. Who, the kids? That's cute. I ain't gonna lie. Like that's something to think about. Like like a couple of happy kids. Just yay. That's something. That's something. Wu Tang's for the kids, man. Wu Tang for the children. Who else Wu Tang could have been for? Yeah, there's almost always a random moment where someone could use a Bluetooth speaker. Like they like permit it, or you just happen to have it on. You just happen to have it, and they're like, "Yeah, you can use it." Wow, this is starting to get nighttime is starting to show up. I'm gonna go ahead and hmm. I'm gonna let it fade out. I'm gonna let it fade out. Can y'all still see me though? I know it's getting a little darker up in here, but that's only because it's getting dark, and also I'm kind of liking this. I'm kind of liking this theme going on here because this is I'm feeling this. This is how I'm feeling right now. So I'm kind of digging this. At some point, I'm gonna turn the light on, but like right now, this is how I'm feeling. Principal uses his during car rider duty. That sounds about right. That checks. That tracks. We can see you. Well, appreciate that. Oh man. Yeah, but yeah, like right now I'm just sort of asking, what's this what's it all for, Just trying to, trying to figure it out, trying to understand, what, like what's the point of it all, Like it's kind of a weird question. I'm having a really tough time like trying to figure out specifically what is the point of it all. It's like, like I worked hard, I work hard, probably not as hard as probably not as hard as I should, but and we have a sunshine card on Fridays. Those guys play music while passing out snacks. That is awesome. Do they play like, okay, that's dope. I feel like that should be a thing for schools in general, I feel like that should be like a thing for school, like in general, like have have somebody like pass out food while playing some music. It could be like a little party. I don't know what the point of life is. I'm just living it the best I can. That yeah, I respect that. I'm trying to do the same, but like yeah, this life thing is just doesn't feel like it kind of like, I ain't gonna lie, it doesn't feel like it's worth it. At least not for me. Like I'm not gonna tell anybody else to I'm not gonna tell anybody else to think this way because there's probably some people out there who got like their life is going pretty well for them. Everything like there's one thing I've learned though is that like life normally do go pretty okay for other people. But it's like I do know that I'm kind of just sort of going through it, and it's really frustrating me because I keep thinking that I keep trying to like do the right thing and go the right direction and do the and try to do things to the best of my abilities and try to improve on myself and try to improve on my situations and stuff like that. And then like something happens. Something always happens, it's never that it goes right. It's just something always has to go wrong. And that gets a little frustrating after a while because it's like I'm trying my best to just sort of like I'm trying my best to just sort of like, just sort of roll with the punches as they say. And it just feels like the punches don't stop, you know? And that's a crippling that's a very sad feeling. It's just like I'm trying to roll with the punches, thinking that things. It's like there's a phrase that I used to hear. It's like if you feel like you're going through hell, keep going, right? And I'm still going, thinking that at some point the hell is going to stop. You know what I'm saying? At some point things are going to get better. Things are going to look up. Like maybe my efforts actually get noticed in some fashion, and things start to look better for me. And instead, I'm reminded that no, that's not it. That's not it. Like the my efforts are ignored. My hard work that I think that I do is overlooked, and I'm just sort of I'm getting everything is just everything that I just wrote on a board just got erased, and I'm now told to write it again. That's what it feels like, and that hurts a little bit. And I guess I'm trying my best to sort of like I guess I'm trying my best not to feel like that, but yeah, I still do. I still do, and I'm tired of it. I'm tired of feeling like that. I'm tired of having that feeling. You know, you know, life should be worth living. I really do feel like I should be, a little bit happier for what it's worth. For all the stuff that I've done and for all the stuff that I was part of and all the stuff that I helped out with and stuff like that. It's like I do feel like I'm at least owed a life worth living, and it feels like I'm not going to get that because nobody owes you anything, and that is cold. Okay, it's getting way too dark. I'm seeing that now. Hold on. Give me a sec. There we go. Ah, not gonna lie. Sometimes I think I was given the opportunity to be was to keep me motivated. That actually is a good way to go about. That's a good way to go about it. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, does it keep you motivated? Does it kind of? I know it's tough. You literally went from having no job earlier this year to getting one and keeping your apartment. In February, you didn't even think you'd make rent, but you're still there. That's true. You're not wrong. That did happen. I did think that February was going to be my last month in Texas, and here I am 7 months later, still surviving. I mean, that's something to look forward to. But it's just like since that time has happened, it didn't get things haven't gotten easier. It's just more tribulation. It's just it was like more tribulation, but like at the same time, it was like you know I just knew how to. I guess got better at maneuvering the pain. Like the pain didn't go away. I just got better at handling it. Does that make sense? And I'm just tired. I'm tired of the pain. I'm tired of the unnecessary pain. I'm tired of the unnecessary suffering. I'm tired of enduring things. You know, I'm tired of just going through things. It's like it's like I feel like I've done my time with this. Like more than half of my life has been dedicated to just suffering, just being miserable, and it's like I wanted to stop, and it really does feel like no matter how much I want it to stop, it's just not going to stop. And I'm tired of it. I'm really, really am tired of it. I am I'm exhausted. I'm old, you know, like I'm tired of suffering. But you do have a point though. I did, like I said, like in the course of the past maybe 7 months, I have been kind of just sort of in the course of the past 7 months, I have managed to kind of, like I said, like I can handle the pain better, but the pain is still there, and I'm tired of the pain. I'm tired of I'm tired of the I call it the divine. I call it the divine nut punching because that's what it feels like. It feels like a divine nut punch. Like I just keep getting punched in the nuts by God. Like, hey, I heard that you're doing pretty well for yourself. Bam! Right there in the nuts. Two for flinching. I can list multiple times where you thought things were not going to be okay or get better, and things did happen for you. You've made it through 100% of everything that's happened to you. It's a pretty good average when you think about it. See, this is why you're the smarter half. This is why you're that's I didn't think of it that way. I just wish stuff would just stop happening. Well, I just wish bad stuff would stop happening. Like I feel like that's a reasonable ask, right? That's reasonable. That's not a. It's not like I'm asking for too much. It's like, hey, can I just get a little less of the bad stuff? Can I get some of the good stuff too? Is it cool if I get some of the good stuff as well? Can I get like more good stuff than bad? Can I get more good stuff than bad? That's all I'm asking for. Just more good stuff than bad stuff. That's not a is that really such like a challenging request? Am I really kind of like out of my league for asking for that? You know, I don't think so. But the powers that be, is like, oh no, you can't be asking for that now. But you right. But Jovi, you right. I mean, for all of the bad stuff that's happened to me, I did manage to survive it, or rather, I did kind of manage to like overcome it. I just really wish I didn't have to, you know, keep overcoming things. It's like, it's kind of like it's kind of like Mr. Incredible when he said, sometimes I just wish the world could just stay saved. Like, you know, uh, I don't know. Maybe I am asking for too much though. How dare I? I'm just really annoyed because like it just really does feel like all the work that I devote into you know just everything, it just feels like it's kind of falling on deaf ears a little bit. It's like everything I try to do to just sort of make things better for myself just kind of doesn't really work for me. And like I could work really like I'm trying to be a professional wrestler. I'm still not one yet. I'm still not a professional wrestler. I'm still working towards it, or at least I'm still trying to work towards it, but I'm still not there yet. But if I as much as sneeze in the wrong direction, I could hurt my neck. All I gotta do is I chew. Oh, you know. I've been wanting to be a professional wrestler since I was like 14. Still not there. I'm really trying my best to like just sort of make sense of it all. Like what now? I find myself asking that question a lot more nowadays, and that's really kind of bummed me out, stressed me out a little bit. I don't know. I don't know is my response to that question. Like, what now? Just more crap to deal with, more pain, more suffering, more sadness. What's happening? Because I want the good stuff. Less of the bad stuff, more of the good stuff. Less of the bad stuff, more of the good stuff. Less of the bad stuff, more of the good stuff. Less of the bad stuff, more of the good stuff. I don't know. I thought I was doing something with that. Okay. You are right though, Jovi. It is Taco Tuesday, which means your boy doesn't have any money for tacos. So how y'all doing out there? Pretty good. Oh boy. So man, I seriously hope this is another case of my chat just taking stuff like. Hold on. I started my new job yesterday, and I realized I only have 2 hours to eat and shower before I have to go to bed. Zero turnaround time. Hey, I totally get it. I really appreciate you for being. I really appreciate you for popping on. Thanks again for showing up. I hope that you have a really good time at work, or rather, um, thank you for showing up. Getting off work, driving home now, so not much interaction, but I'm here. I really appreciate that. Thank you for showing up. Just know that I'm in really low spirits, so I'm gonna probably be like talking about doing something really bad, but I'm not gonna actually do it. Just know that it's just I'm not feeling too good right now. So yeah, it's in there, it's in the old noggin, but it's not happening. Nothing I'm not used to. You were around for that. Keep on forgetting that. I just, I kind of just really wish that things were just, It's like I just really wish that like I kind of, I'm not saying I deserve good things. I'm just saying, like I really like, was I really that bad? Like was I really that bad that I just deserve just all this misfortune that I'm getting? It's like, was I really just that bad of a human being? Like, I know I did some crappy stuff growing up. I know I did some crappy stuff. I know I did some terrible things, but it's like I'm trying to make up for it. I'm trying to make up for it by being a better person. I'm trying to influence myself to make better decisions, and you already know what I'm gonna say. Oh God, I'm aware. It's just that, like, I don't know. I'm just not. It's like like I said, I know that I like I'm. God, man, was I? man, it's like I can't even make up for it though. I can't even make up for the stuff that I did. I'm just supposed to just. I'm supposed to, it's like I'm not above punishment. I get that, but it's like dang, bro, like I don't want to even be the person that I was when I was growing up. It's like that kind of like that Reliant K song. Who I am hates who I've been. Stop right there, and exactly where I lost it. That's something time, and I never should have crossed it. Something something. No, no, no. The very moment that I wish that I could take back. You make up for it by being and doing better from here. You can't change the past. Yesterday is gone. I know. I know. Uh, I just keep trying to I keep trying to move forward and be a better person for the sake of like a better future. But it's like every single time I do, being like I'm consistently like getting got. You know what I'm saying? Like God just punches me in the nuts. And like I'm not feeling good about that. It's like like you ever been punched in the nuts by God? I'm just having a really tough time valuing my life right now because of what just happened. Yeah, I'm aware. Like I said, I ain't gonna lie, man. But I do feel terrible right now. I do. I feel, I feel stupid. I feel, um, just god awful right now. It's like that song "Mad Season" by Matchbox 20. God, does that group even still make music? It happens to everyone in this life. Sometimes it sucks. Sometimes we don't get a second chance. We did in the moment what we thought was right. Yeah, and that's exactly how it feels for me. Like I really did just do something that I thought was right for the moment, and it just did not work. And like that's what really kind of hurts a little bit. Is just that it really does kind of hurt. That it's like the things that I try to do right to try to make myself the things I try to do the things I thought was right just weren't. Man, I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to I don't know how to word what I'm saying right now. It's probably like the depression, just really sort of like clouding my way to speak. One thing for sure, you won't do that again. Absolutely, that's true. That's the way to go about it. Yeah, you're right. Like I would definitely the dumb thing that I've done, the dumb thing that I did, I will not do that again for sure. Um, I'm just annoyed that I can't really. I'm just annoyed that every single time I try my best to do something good for myself, it just doesn't work for me. You know what I mean? It's like every single time I try to do something good for myself, it just doesn't work. But if I do something stupid, and it's like I immediately have to reap the consequences. But it's like I can't do anything to improve my situation. All I can do is just sort of suffer through it, and I hate that. It's a terrible feeling. It's a terrible feeling. It's like I'm trying to do something good for myself, trying to fix things, trying to fix what's broken, and all I did was just break something else in the process. So here I am. So I say, you know what? I'm just not gonna do anything. I'm just not gonna. I'm not even. I'm not gonna fix anything. I'm not gonna break anything. And then all of a sudden, something just else gets broken without me even like having to do anything. It's like, what more can happen now? You might as well do the things anyway. Yeah, I know that's the problem. It's like I don't. It's like yeah, I gotta do something, right? Because like even if it's like whether I do something or I don't do something, something's gonna get broken. Something's gonna go wrong. It's like whether I do or don't do, something is gonna go wrong. And this is that's just unfair, you know. It's like what like for what, you know, like why that gotta happen? Like I got conned. That's the reason why I'm so bummed out right now. I got scammed. Um, like I'm gonna try to call up my bank tomorrow and just try to stop the transaction, but I got scammed and I feel like an idiot about it. So, um, so it's like I feel like an idiot, and like in my brain, it's just like my brain is I'm I'm old enough to know that stuff be scams, but I was just so blinded by you know the possibility of things going right to realize, oh crap, no, this is just way too good to be true. I still fell for it anyway. I feel dumb. I feel like really dumb, and I hate myself right now. And it's like exactly, but if you do what you decide, at least you made the choice. Yeah, that's true. It's like I really did just walk right into that. I'm an idiot, and I hate myself. It's like I got scammed today, so it's not like So it's like I'm just calling. I'm hoping to call my bank up tomorrow and just tell them, hey, can you like make sure that thing doesn't happen? So so they don't just like steal my money. Happened to me a few weeks ago. Believe me, I feel you. See, that's what I'm saying. It's like scamming isn't nice. Scamming is like I think scamming is painful because it's ultimately people who need money taking money from people who also need money. It's like I can understand if people were like I can understand if billionaires were getting scammed. I mean, they got money to burn. They got money to like But it's like there should be like a. But it's like you think that there'll be like some sort of code of ethics. Like, hey, let's not scam these poor people. They don't have money. You know, it's like what we can't scam billionaires. These people don't have billionaire farms to milk from. It has to be the poor people. It has to be like it has to be like what why you know that's messed up. That's so messed up. Easy targets. And it's like that makes it even more messed up. Like I could like in my brain, I don't know. Maybe it's just because I have a little bit of empathy for people, so it's like in my brain, I just can't envision myself scamming people. I can't do it. Like like I said, maybe it's because of empathy. Maybe it's because I'm a bad liar. But like it's just like I know for a fact that like I just in my brain I couldn't scam anybody. Scammers do their best to stay a few steps ahead of everyone. Plus, they rely on getting over on those who are in a vulnerable situation. That's kind of what happened. It was just like they really did they really did make it seem like they were realistic. I don't know. It was just like I said. I think it was like there was some things in my head that was just kind of there was some things in my head like red flags was just going off, and I got like I got conned, and that's just I feel like a moron about it. And all I want to do is just like see what happens if I take like 2 cases of ibuprofen. You know, chase it down with some apple cider vinegar or something. And like, I'm obviously not going to do that, but it's just like, my brain just immediately went straight to there's definitely wealthy folks who got scammed, mainly older wealthy people. I'm talking about like billionaires. You'd have to spend money. I would have to spend money to. I would have to spend money. That's what you just said. That's all. That's funny. Yeah, what money? Shout out to the three people that are still in here. By the way, I really appreciate y'all for like coming in at this really really tough and sad time. Because I feel like garbage. Oh boy. Cases of ibuprofen and ACV is a diabolical combo. Yeah, I mean, I'm not like, I mean, why not? Let's go nuts. Yeah, like I said, getting scammed, that was not fun. Like I really fell for that. So I mean, here is like, yeah, because like here's the thing, I am an idiot. Like I realize that now. I'm not a smart person, but like my brother got scammed by on Facebook Marketplace a couple of times. Yeah, Facebook Marketplace is notorious for that. Like that's Facebook Marketplace is just wild for that. That's messed up. But nah, they was just saying all the right things. It's like, yeah, they said all the right things. They really did. And I guess I just didn't really bother to think about the follow up questions and stuff like that. It was just like, it was really, like, I ain't gonna lie, like, they sold a good pitch and I fell for that. I really did. And like, now I'm realizing that I am not smart. And it's killing me a little bit because I thought I was at least smart enough to like know when I'm getting the business, and I didn't. And now all I can think of is I don't know. All I can think of is going outside and kissing a moving car, trying to make some money by selling something once and then trying to buy something for his Christmas the other time. That's tough. That's painful. I just really don't like this idea of, like I said, I just like, it should only be billionaires. Billionaires are the only people who should be getting scammed. It doesn't make any sense for like people like scam poor people. Billionaires are the only people who should be getting scammed. As a matter of fact, like I feel like there should be like some kind of way to just have it so that like scammers can't communicate with people who make less than $1 billion. That doesn't make any sense. I just want good stuff to happen to me, man. It's a little unfair that that's like not the case. It's like all I get for all of my hard work is just being told, by the way, you got to work harder because you suck right now. Sorry, I didn't mean to wake you up. So, but you know what? I'm as bummed out as I am. I don't want to bring the mood down too much. Uh, so how was work? Anything good happened? I mean, well, you just brought up how kids lose their minds when they hear it's raining tacos, which is the cutest thing on the planet. What about anybody else got any funny? Anybody else got any wholesome stories? I love wholesome stuff. By the way, I realize now that that's a thing for me. Is that like I'm on the internet a lot now, and it's like wholesome stuff that really gets me. I used to think that I was an edgelord growing up. I used to think that oh, LOL is funny because bad stuff is happening to other people and not to me. But then I realized I'm not an edgelord, man. I'm a cuddle bunny. I'm a hug bear. You know what I'm saying? I like seeing cute things. I like seeing people. You know, like there was this skateboard video of this kid. He was like trying to get a kickflip done, and everybody was just like, he finally gets a kickflip. He's like trying. You see him like this attempt after attempt after attempt, and like and people are watching him do it. I assume because once he finally gets it, like the whole skate park just like just cheers and runs up to the kid and just give him a big old hug and stuff like that. It's the greatest thing I ever seen. I just thought it was like that's the kind of wholesome stuff right there. I enjoy that. You know what I'm saying? More wholesome stuff, less edgy stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's like less edgy, more wholesome. So the last thing I needed is to be reminded that like being evil is a thing, especially in this day and age. It's like I'm tired of being reminded that evil won. You know? It's like I get it. Cruelty is the new black. So I bought Dominique some shoes for school. He sees him and goes, "New shoes, car ride, restaurant. Let's go." Homie knows what's up. Homie knows what's up. Was there a restaurant? That's his way of asking if we can go out to dinner. Well, did y'all? He's clearly hungry for some like some exquisite eating. I'm all up for it. I asked him what kind of restaurant, thinking he's talking about McDonald's. Okay, I like where this is going. He said family restaurant. Okay, so like obviously a buffet. Like I don't know when I think of if you were to say the words family and restaurant to me, I immediately think of buffets. Because I mean, like, nah, it has to be a buffet. So I asked him what's the name of the restaurant. God, I really would like to go to a buffet right now, but like I am trying to lose weight, and I keep thinking that I'm doing a good job at it, but like considering my luck, I'm probably gained like 10 pounds. 30 minutes later, he just randomly blurts out Outback Steakhouse. Awesome. So, like at training, he's never been there. That's dope. He's like broadening his horizons. I respect that. Fun. So at training, there actually is like some guys. We do actually have a guy from Australia over at training. He's a cool guy, big dude, big dude. And like I've been meeting there's like a whole lot of Australians who's actually been like showing up, but he wants to go there and order fries and a lemonade. There you go. Hey, I'm for it. Little dude clearly knows what he likes. I respect that. Fun fact about Australia, by the way, there isn't really that many Outback Steakhouses in Australia. So guess where we're going in 2 weeks? Going to the Outback. I can't do the accent. I hung out with enough Australians that I should be able to knock the accent out the park, and I can't. Going to the Outback. The Outback. I can't do it. And he wants the entire family to go. That's like 15 people. Whew, man, that's a lot of money. Oh my goodness. That's a lot of money. That is a lot of money. I love that he wants this to be a family thing too. That's beautiful. That's a lot of money. Ooh, that is a lot of money. I almost cried because he's asking to do things he's having asked before. Oh, he's haven't asked for. Are you saying he's haven't asked for before? But that's a good thing though. It's like he's clearly like expanding his horizons. He's looking for certain things. He's like he asked me to take him to the movies and see the Smurfs. That's dope. See, that's some wholesome stuff right there. I love that. That's the wholesome stuff that I'm talking about. Little homie knows what he likes. That's a beautiful thing. Oh boy. I really did tell myself that I was going to buy myself a gaming system this year. I'm holding on to hope that that might still happen, but if it doesn't, I wouldn't be surprised. Too much bad stuff happens. Like, too much bad stuff happens for me to be hopeful about things. So I just don't be. At least not anymore. Because, like, when I was younger, I actually used to be an optimist, and then things just kept happening. Like, stuff just kept going wrong. Like, one time I remember, um, one time I really had it in my head that like I was going to be like a scientist when I grew up because I liked that show, Dexter's Laboratory. I think the program he's in is helping him tremendously. Oh, really? What program is that? I try to give myself an early start when it comes to like science, and yeah, that stuff is like really complicated. It's a lot of math. It's a lot of math. Hold on. Oh, man, I'm running people away. I get it. That's no problem. It's a job training and life skills program. That's awesome though. It's good to see he's kind of like moving up and trying to like do stuff like that on his own. That's something that really like not like he's moving up. He's improving. Well, or at least what he's doing is helping him kind of improve a little bit. That's good. That's really good. I'm happy that that's happening. I'll be right back. Give me a second. All right. Shout out to the two people that are still up in here. Really appreciate y'all for sticking around. I'm gonna assume that the person is Jovi and um, me, probably, which that's fine. I appreciate it. I'm always extremely anxious about his future, as you should be. But that just sounds like being a parent, you know? I'm always sticking around. Well, yeah, like you're his mom. Like that doesn't even sound that doesn't sound like anything. That doesn't sound like anything wrong with that. It's like I'm his mom, and I it's like I'm his mom, and I'm always around him. It's like yeah, of course you are. You're his mom. My mom keeps up with me too. You know, like that's a like you're just being a mom. You're just doing what moms do. Heck, I would argue that if you did, I would probably have issues if you weren't doing that. It's like you're always around. It's like, yeah, that's just being a good mom. You're a good mom. Shout out to Jovi for being a good mom. I mean, heck, if anything, that's a flex. What you're doing right now is actually a flex, or what you're claiming right now is actually is a flex. Shoot, I'm pretty sure he appreciates it too. I thought that he's like, Mom, quit being a good mom, and I never heard a kid say, quit being a good mom. All right, but yeah. Oh boy, I am. God, still feel pretty terrible. It's not supposed. Life isn't supposed to feel like this, you know. Like I'm not. I feel like I'm not supposed to feel this bad regularly. Sticking around here, not him. Yeah, but you are sticking around, you know. Like you're still being a good mom. Not a lot of people can say that. Not a lot of moms can say that. I think you missed a couple of comments. I'm trying to find them now. Uh, Give me a second because this happens a lot. Okay, hold on, y'all. I might have. I'm not sure. Nope, it doesn't look like I have. Looks like it's just been you. Yeah, people don't. Yeah, like no, no. Yeah, nobody cares about. I was about to say nobody cares about this live, and then all of a sudden I just get this onslaught of people. But it's gonna probably just be like lurkers and stuff, which is fine. I don't. It's like I'm pretty sure it's gonna also be like trolls too, but it's like just genuinely don't understand why there would be trolls on here. It's like, hey, I heard that you're depressed. I'm here to make that. I'm here to make that worse. It's like, why? But yeah. What was this? All right, but yeah. So like I was saying though, I just genuinely don't believe that this is supposed to be a common feeling or a constant feeling. Like I kind of do feel like things should be a little bit, just I don't know, just a little bit better. I just don't feel like anguish and dread should like be that default expression and a default feeling that we should be having because life isn't supposed to suck, you know. Like maybe I'm just weird for saying that, but like I just don't think that life isn't supposed to suck. Things aren't supposed to be this bad. You know what I mean? It's not supposed to be this despotic. I don't know the word. I don't know the word I want to use. So I'm just saying. I'm just trying to like increase the word despot. It just doesn't. But it's like I do feel terrible, and it feels unnecessarily. It feels unrealistic. It doesn't feel right. You know, like when I was growing up, I was basically told that this is the right way to feel. Like things are, because things are pretty bad. Things are pretty rough. And now I'm consistently being reminded that's like, like it's like, no, this shouldn't be it. It's like, why do things have to be this bad? Why do I have to feel this low? Why do I have to be this depressed? Why do I have to like, why do bad things have to happen on this grand of a scale regularly? It doesn't feel right. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being weird about it. I just really wish that like something would just kind of shake, and I just really kind of feel like there should definitely be something that just kind of like I just really wish that things were like pointing me to the right direction. And I'm pretty sure that I got like right wingers like up in here right now. Just hold on. Sorry, y'all. I'm reading something right now. Give me one second. Oh my god. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, so I'm done reading that thing. Um, I'm going to play a game while I wait for people to interact. I really hope y'all doing okay out there. Because, like I said, just because I'm down, dumps, and depressed doesn't mean you guys have to be also. This doesn't have to be a collection of sad people. However, I understand if the situation, I understand, sometimes people do need to be bummed out, like being bummed out is not like it's an evil thing. It's not an evil feeling. Sometimes you be, some people just kind of need to, some people just kind of do need to feel feelings that aren't, I'm not going to say aren't positive, uh, but yeah, like while I am waiting for you guys to, interact, I am going to play this game and try to make myself feel better. I'm losing, by the way, but oh, this ain't good. Yeah, I'm losing bad. I'm losing bad. Yeah, I definitely made the wrong move here. That's the story of my life. I keep just making mistakes. You know what? I'm going to test something out real quick. Better ask for forgiveness than permission. Okay, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Oh my goodness. That's going to probably get me in more trouble than I'm already in. Let's see. Hold on. Shout out to the. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to go ahead and check out something real quick. Let me know if y'all can see that. Well, not really trouble as much as it's just like, with my luck, I have a lot of really bad luck, so I just assume that I'm in trouble. I'm just gonna have to assume that I'm in trouble all the time now because my luck is just that bad. So I'm at that point. But it's like, oh wait, hold on. I All right. So these are like two books that I've been reading, or at least trying to read a little bit. One of them is about the founding fathers. Apparently they all beef with each other or something. And this one is about the mafia, which I've always told myself I hate the mafia, but I never understood specifically why I hate the mafia. So I decided to just decided to try to like read into it a little bit. And one thing I realized I could probably like do on my live is probably read a chapter of a book, um, like on my live, just to sort of like pass the time or whatever. And it's kind of like an audio book, but instead you like see the guy reading it, kind of ordeal. Now the question is, if I were to do that, who would give a crap about that? Uh, Give me 1 second. Hold on. But yeah, like I might just do that. Okay. So once again, as I've said before, I hate the mafia, and I figure I hate the mafia, but I know very little about the mafia. So I decided to just go ahead and try my best to learn a little bit about them. There's only one way to find out. I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. No big deal. We are reading Crime Incorporated by. Okay, hold on. We are reading Crime Incorporated by William Balsamo. I'm going to start off with the acknowledgments. Was driving, just got home. What a day. I really hope that, well, I hope that like you're home now. You get a chance to sort of like just let loose, relax for a little bit, and watch me read this book. um, because like I said, I am depressed enough right now that I am going to read this book and try my best to make myself feel better by learning something. If I remember correctly, someone suggested that you do read stories while live a while ago. All right, so let's go ahead and get these things going. This is acknowledgments of this book. Um, the authors wish to acknowledge with profound thanks and contributions to this work by individuals, historical and reference sources, without whose valuable advice, guidance, and assistance the book would not have been possible. Our deepest appreciation goes to. I can't believe I'm about to read this. I'm about to read this dude's name. Hold on. Um, U.S. Attorney Rudolph W. Giuliani of New York's Southern District for insights and observations on the operation of organized crime, and to his wife, broadcast journalist Donna Hanover, for details about their life together that shape an intimate portrait of the couple away from the maddening daily swirl and bustle of the prosecutor's office and the television newsroom. I literally just, oh man, the first person they think is Rudy Giuliani. Okay, this is okay. Hold on. Let me see how what year this book was made. Give me a second. Oh God, I don't think they're gonna tell me what. I don't think they're gonna tell me what year the book was made. Oh, 2015. 2015. Alrighty. Oh darn it. Okay, hold on. I messed up. I messed up. Hold on. All right, cool. The very first person that they mentioned in here was Rudy G. Let's go. Another I'm reading the acknowledgments just so like we can like pay attention to the sources here. U.S. Attorney Raymond Deary of New York's Eastern District and such other able officials in that office, including Assistant U.S. Attorney Edward McDonald, head of Brooklyn's Federal Strike Force against organized crime, his predecessor, Thomas R. Puccio, as well as Special Attorney of the Organized Crime Strike Force, Douglas Bim. I hope I said that right. Their help in making available public records on mafia operations and racketeering and drug trafficking was invaluable. Ralph F. Salerno, retired member of the New York City Police Department and one of America's foremost authorities on organized crime. He supervised the investigations into Joe Fallaci's testimony for the McClellan Permanent Senate Subcommittee. God, say that 3 times fast. Hold on. Served as the only police officer on President Johnson's organized crime task force on a presidential commission looking into campus unrest and campus violence, and as an organized crime consultant to the House Select Committee on assassinations looking into President Kennedy's murder. Mr. Salerno gave co-author Carpozzi a thorough indoctrination into the inner workings of organized crime when together they wrote an 8-post serialization for the New York Post entitled The Mob's Deadly Hold on New York. I know I'm boring you guys, but I don't care. I actually am kind of interested in this. Let's see. The other acknowledgement is Queens District Attorney John Santucci. All these guys, they all sound like some of these guys sound like they're already in the mob. Queens Direct Attorney John Santucci for his complete and enthusiastic support in enabling the authors to gather material on the mafia's illicit activities in his borough, but especially for information about the mob's involvement in rackets at Kennedy International Airport. Nassau County Attorney Dennis Dillon, not only for insights and interpretations of underworld operations in his jurisdiction, but for his recollections and remembrances of his battles with the mafia when he headed Brooklyn's Federal Strike Force against organized crime. Lieutenant Remo Friend. Oh my God, I'm gonna I'm going to destroy this name. Lieutenant Remo Francischini of I'm gonna figure that out eventually. Of the Queen's Direct Attorney Squad for his always generous assistance in providing information not only about underworld activity in his own jurisdiction, but far beyond the county's borders, as far off places as Florida. Antoinette Giancana, daughter of slain Chicago organized crime kingpin Sam Momo Giancana, who roundly denied the story that Mrs. Judith Exner Campbell has been a go-between for President Kennedy and her father while plotting assassinations of Cuba's Fidel Castro. This goes kind of deep, and that they were involved in mob business. Author Kitty Kelly and Mrs. Exner reportedly shared $100,000 from People magazine for this uncorroborated story in the publication. George Wolfe, known as the mobster's mouthpiece, who contributed to the untold details in the book, chapter 29, looks like, of why and how New York Governor Thomas E. Dewey released America. By the way, I think Thomas E. Dewey ran for president against Truman. Thomas E. Dewey released America's number one underworld leader, Charles Lucky Luciano. He released him? I'm sorry. Let me reread all that because George Wolfe, also known as the mobster's mouthpiece, who contributed to the untold details in the book, chapter 29, of why and how New York Governor Thomas E. Dewey released America's number one underworld leader, Charles Lucky Luciano, from prison and arranged for his deportation to Italy. Also counseled to mobsters Frank Costello, author Dutch Schultz Feigenheimer, Albert Anastasia, and Johnny Torrio. Wolfe further gives us a humorous but penetrating insight into another client, Vito Genovese, in a surprising divorce proceeding. Yeah, that's the same Thomas Dewey. Exactly. Burton Turkis, who is assistant district attorney of Kings County, who virtually single-handedly broke up and prosecuted America's most infamous gangs of killers, Murder Incorporated. Mr. Turkis wrote the first definitive book of the gang after his retirement, Murder Inc. Really? Murder? Okay, I'm sorry. It's murder. Okay, let me reread that. Oh, I'm sorry. Burton Turkis, assistant district attorney of Kings County, who virtually single-handedly broke up and prosecuted America's most infamous gangs of killers, Murder Incorporated. Mr. Turkis wrote the first definitive book on the gang after his retirement, Murder Inc. Published by Manor Books in 1951, Mr. Turkis was instrumental in providing co-author Carpozzi with many insights into the workings of this infamous mob that slew law and order. But he contributed even more extensively to the story of how gang's informer Abe Reels, I assume that's his name, met his death in a mysterious plunge from the Coney Island Hotel. Mickey Cohen, the notorious West Coast mob chieftain who made co-author Carpozzi privy to heretofore untold tales about gangland operations headed out of Los Angeles and Hollywood. Mr. Cohen was Mickey Cohen, by the way, not Michael Cohen, right? Not Michael Cohen. Mr. Cohen was once the subject of an exclusive 3-part series Carpozzi wrote about gangsters from Hearst, New York's Journal American. Senator Estes oh my God, I'm gonna butch this. I'm gonna destroy this name, dude. Yes, that's where they got their label. That's where they got the label from. I thought Murder Inc. was just like I thought Murder Inc. was just something that they just made up. That's crazy. I know Murder Incorporated was like an actual gang. That's wild. Senator Estes Kefauver, the Democrat from Tennessee, who conducted the Senate hearings into organized crime in the early 1950s and provided material that enabled the authors to write the introduction for this book, and most especially to librarian Christopher Bowen and the reference departments of the New York Post, head librarian Faggy Rosenthal and the reference department of the New York Daily News. The authors, who are also indebted for the information, help guides the path this work took to the highly regarded books and their scriveners, Organized Crime in America by Gus Taylor, the University of Michigan Press, 1962, The Greenfelt Jungle by Ed Reed and Ovid Ovid Damaris, and Simon and Schuster, Inc., 1963. The Valachi Papers by Peter Moss, G.P. Putnam's Sons, 1968. The Crime Confederation by Ralph Salerno and John S. Tompkins, Doubleday and Company, 1969. The Brotherhood of Evil, The Mafia, by Frederick Sundern Jr., Farrar, Strauss, and Giroux, Inc., 1969. Capone, The Life and the World of Al Capone, by John Kobler, G.P. Putnam's Sons, 1971. Honor Thy Father, by Gay Talese, World Publishing Company, 1971. Recognition is also given to the editors of New York Magazine for the special 1972 edition of their publication entitled The Mafia at War, which exerted significant passages from several important books on organized crime. That publication featured contributions by such distinguished writers about organized crime, such as John Kobler, Peter Moss, Nicholas Pileggi, Ralph Salerno, and Gay Talese. And special thanks to Reed Sparling, books editor of Star Magazine. I'm getting tongue-tied reading this, whose advice and counsel was given to his colleagues, news department director George Capozzi Jr., the co-author, as the text for this book was shaped day by day over the lengthy period of its production. To all these invaluable sources, Will Balsamo and George Capozzi Jr. extend heartfelt gratitude. The authors also especially wish to extend together an immense note of thanks to New York CBS TV, Chris Borgen, for teaming up with 1976 Rich Result. I feel like these acknowledgments should have been done at the end of the book, but yeah. I'm gonna keep going though. It's Chris Borgen for teaming up with 1976, which resulted in their joint effort for a book all entitled "Always Kill a Brother." What? That's the name of the book? Okay. As a result of that first association, Balsamo and Capozzi collaborated more extensively on this volume, and the authors wish to thank Sergeant Thomas Krantz for always total cooperation, along with the NYPD's Academy's Museum, which provided an invaluable information about organized crime in the realm of guns and photos. The authors wish to express their thanks to Ronald DeLiso and Frank Cascella for their help in translating certain words from English to Italian. Then, one of the very final salute goes to Kenneth Cobb and the staff of the City of Newark Department of Records and Information Services, lodged in the municipal archives, for their tremendous resourcefulness in providing authors with editorial and photographic information, which helped put this book all together. Shout out to those guys. I just can't believe Murder Inc. was an actual thing. That is crazy. That's wild. That's wild. Okay. So that is the acknowledgments. God, that was a tongue twister, man. A lot of those names, dude. Also, shout out to the 4 people that are still in here. Yeah, I know. I'm reading. Like I said, I'm reading a book. I'm depressed. I'm trying to read a book to make myself feel better. We're gonna learn about the mob today. So I'm gonna go ahead and read this introduction, and I'm gonna read this introduction, and I'll ask you guys what you learned. So, introduction. An invisible government under the whip of the mafia, the government of syndicated crime, has enveloped much of the Western world like a cancerous growth, stubbornly defying the prognosis and treatment of law enforcement agencies. It is a government so insidious that it has subjugated millions of innocent people to servility. The plunder cascading into the coffers of this empire amounts to as much as 10% of national income. Millions of Americans, knowingly and unknowingly, are compelled to contribute a part of their hard-earned wages or income to the big businesses of international crime. The public pays its tribute to the sprawling, voracious monster of syndicated crime in many ways, in the clothes it wears, and the food it eats, and the union dues it pays, and the music it listens to and dances to, and the cigarettes it smokes, and the gasoline that fuels its cars, and the shipments of the merchandise and parcels, and the buildings and bridges it erects. In innumerable other ways, the public is made such a helpless sucker by the common denominator of greed and avarice upon which this invisible government gorges itself. Organized gangs operate largely unmolested in interstate commerce and industry. The criminals behind this vast conspiracy are descendants of the underworld wars of the Prohibition era. There are people of varying talents, qualities, and responsibilities banded together in a surreptitious conspiracy, which, for the most part, is run like many large, diversified industries or businesses. Unlike the old, bloody, roaring 20s, when bootlegging was one of the chief sources of income for the mob and gunfire tattooed the syndicate's enforcement aims, today's organized criminals shy away from violence and murder as much as they can. Wait, there's a quiz? Oh, you make me happy. Show of hands if Sue's still here because I'm enjoying this right now. Um, Rather than engage in blatant and belligerent lawbreaking, today's underworld take refuge in a self-respecting guise of legitimate entrepreneurs. They have ably organized themselves in much the same manner as giant corporations. In a great complexity that is organized crime, one ruling body stands like brimly entrenched at the top of the enormous roster of mobsters. It imposes onerous rules and regulations. It exercises tremendous pressure to maintain control. This is the mafia. No single underworld group has survived the ravages of time, nor the onslaught of crime fighters, as well as this most extensive, most effective criminal body in the world. There are many who feel that the power of the mafia does not prevail any longer, that mafia is just a word loosely used by sensationalist headlines, writers to boost the sales of newspapers, magazines, and books, to boost box office sales, and to hype the Nielsen ratings for network TV shows. The authors maintain that the mafia does exist. The chapters that follow will chronicle the rise of this sinister underworld government. It does not exist as a colossus of crime with branch offices in every major city, nor does it work with IBM or push button efficiency as some may envision. The mafia today is a relatively loosely knit group who work together for mutual well being and continued dominance of criminal objectives, and who share in a way of life that brings its followers an understanding of trust for one another. All in a day's work. I appreciate that. Their efforts are concentrated. Uh, their efforts are concentrated to a large extent in narcotics. The mafia is the principal and dominating agent in like drug trafficking, and the rise of such Johnny come lately dealers in opiates and soporific agents such as Colombians, Haitians, Puerto Ricans, Chinese, and the newcomers to the field have not lessened its domination. The mafia is also deeply involved in illicit activities such as gambling, coin machine rackets, jukebox businesses, pizza parlor operations, which are also used as fronts for drug trafficking and money laundering, um, selling of people for things. I don't really like to say the word extortion, smuggling, and counterfeiting. Then, too, the mafia had become deeply entrenched in control over such lucrative, legitimate ventures such as trucking, restaurant supplies, laundry services, restaurants, um, nightclubs, labor unions, garbage hauling, beer and soft drink distributorships, garment manufacturing, ready mixed concrete, and many others. They have intruded into the world of sports. Men from the crime kingdom exercise powerful influences over boxing, harness racing, dog races, and many other professional sports. As the mafia spreads into each new area, the tribute to it grows accordingly, at the expense of average law-abiding citizens. The mafia, as it was originally known with two F's, did not begin as a criminal agency. Its infamous web has only been spun over like the last century. Prior to then, it was an underground patriotic society born more than 600 years ago on the Mediterranean island of Sicily, the toe of Italy's boot. It's not just the U.S. government; it's foreign governments too. I Yeah, I agree with that 100%. It rose to prominence in the 13th century as a resistance group to foreign oppression. Though through the centuries, Sicily has been invaded repeatedly by Arabs, Normans, Germans, French, and Spaniards. The underground organization was formed to conduct warfare against these intruders, For hundreds of years, the society was held together only by an indomitable spirit of patriotism to repel all foreigners. My goodness. Oh, how times have not changed. We chronicle the transformation of this early organization, banded together by a sense of nationalism, into its present day configuration as a criminal colossus unmatched by any other body of criminals anywhere. The advent of prohibition in 1920 gave rise to the mafia as we know it today in the United States. Many mafiosi who had immigrated here since the turn of the century had dealt in shakedowns and extortion of the hapless Italian newcomers, become aware of the lucrative rewards in bootlegging and rum running, which opened the way to climb to power. Many of the hardy survivors of these early roaring 20s days of mobsterism emerged as overlords of organized crime in the 30s and kept their power to the 40s, 50s, 60s, and even the 70s. Among them are Frank Costello, Vito Genovese, Michelle Mike Miranda, Tony Accardo, Joseph Profazzi, Michael Mike Spinella, Joseph Jordanus Dodo, Thomas Three Finger Brown Luchese, Anthony Tony Bender Strollo, Albert Anastasia, and Anthony Little Agipasano Carfano. Contrary to general belief, the mafia in the last 60 years has not restricted its membership to Sicilian immigrants or their descendants, nor even to the Italian extraction. Members of today's mafia hierarchy included, for example, Meyer Lansky, and Abner Longies Will. Hold on. Give me 1 second, y'all. Ooh. Sorry. Yeah, three fingers, apparently. Not sure what that's about. Membership in the mafia is achieved through diverse ways by birth, marriage, or through the sponsorship of relatives or close friends. Members are selected for their particular aptitudes and abilities in the toils of the underworld. Those with unusual talents who can serve to further the mafia's aims and controls in the rackets are initiated as brothers, regardless of national organization or origin. Nationalistic sentiment is set aside for someone with a genius for extending the parameters of the mafia's racket preserves and enriching its coffers. Gaining acceptance in the mafia is a slow, gradual process. A candidate no longer goes through an ancient religious flavored ritual of being transformed into a brother. Now he puts in a period of apprenticeships as a full fledged member stooge, moving with him in mafia circles and lighting his cigars or cigarettes, running his errands, raking in his bets, collecting extortion, and carrying out murders. The area of the underworld in which the candidate receives his experience depends upon like his sponsor's particular specialty, in which could be narcotics or blank institution, labor extortion, gambling, or any other unlawful arena in which the mafia is entrenched. When his protege proves himself and is ready for full-fledged membership of the organization, a sponsor will take him on as a partner and set him up with a racket operation of his own in a neighboring territory. Once thus established, the new member is eligible for all the protection, secrets, and privileges incumbent on the mafia to provide its own. It is a union that can be dissolved only by death. Deepest secrecy is the organization's binding code, epitomized by the Italian omerta, a variation of umerta, a Sicilian word meaning humility, a quality which every mafioso must exhibit. In the primitive dialect, the word meant noble silence. The conspiracy, no speak to nobody, um, the traditional trademark of the mafia, is rigidly enforced. Anyone who violates the code is certain to meet a swift and violent end, and the aggrieved members take their revenge by their own methods. Although there has been considerable intermarriage among mafia families that gives the organizations the specter of being a single, far-flung clan, it seldom holds big meetings. And when it did, it was the first time mafiosi got together to talk in an open forum. The meeting, held on the palatial hilltop estate of mobster Joseph Barbara in upstate New York's serene, picturesque hamlet of Appalachian, degenerated into a colossal. Oh my God, they really used the word boner. Come on, man, that's just weird. The infamous conclave finally gave credence and validity to accumulating claims of one investigator after another, after a super government of crime, the mafia, indeed exists. The warning toll was sounded with electrifying reverberance. Oh my God, man, these words, bro. On a rainy November 14, 1957, when Empire State Troopers, led by Sergeant Edgar Crosswell and the United States Treasury agents, invaded Barbara's mansion. Crosswell's curiosity was first aroused by a procession of sleek, expensive cars with out of state and out of country license plates, and sweeping up through the tiny community of like 280 people to Barbara's secluded 53-acre estate. At the first sight of the gray clad troopers, the Treasury agents, and street guards, 63 impeccably tailored men, and deserted like 200 pounds of beef at the barbecue pit, grabbed their coats, and scrambled for the exits. The troopers managed to like nail 57 of them to different stages of flight, some at a roadblock, others tripping aimlessly on foot through dense woods. The troopers on the raid had a field day. They went into the wood when they went into the woods. Crosswell said, and all they had to do was find the guys wearing the pointed, padded leather shoes, and they knew they had the mafiosi. That's funny. It's like imagine just running through the forest and just looking for a guy in a suit. When taken in for questioning and asked who they were, where they came from, and why they were in Appalachian, and the 57 trapped delegates answered that they come to visit a sick friend, Barbara, who ironically died just a few years later without a single mafioso at his bedside. Messed up. While they gave their true identities, none of the 57 mobsters revealed the true purpose of the convention. Each held tightly to the secret, true to the Mafia Code of Omerta. Talk and you die, keep your mouth shut, and we'll take care of you and your family. The state and federal officials became frustrated in their efforts to learn what the meeting was about, but they did learn one thing. The Mafia Grand Council apparently did meet periodically. Its purpose ostensibly was to deal. Hold on. Was to, oh my God, hold on, was to deal with crucial problems and map ways of enhancing the organization's holding and wealth. After Appalachian, the syndicate never let itself get caught in similar straits. If indeed they meet again, it's believed that they had many conclaves over the years. They were careful not to send out any more telltale smoke signals of their get-togethers, such as procession of expensive out-of-state cars all headed to the same place. The chapters that follow are a powerful portrayal of America's mafia, shaped by the authors through research and investigation, as well as a personal experience. We have chronicled in exciting detail every significant episode of the mafia's underworld activity from before the turn of the century to the present day. That is the end of the first part. I know it was a little lengthy, a little wordy, and I was a little chatty, but I like doing that. I like doing that. That was fun. That was fun for me. But did anybody pick up on anything, or anybody got any notes? Dude, nobody comes on your live to listen to you read a book. I know. Shut up. Go away. But yeah, that's a chapter, y'all. So, what you think? Oh crap! Did I do my lesson today? How many pages are in the book? This is 768 pages. I am currently on page 31. This is a big book. This is a big one. This is it's a historical series, so it's like they're gonna like it's a big book though. It's a like it's ooh that's a it's a lot. It's a lot going on. But yeah, like I said, I always hated the mafia, and I always hated the mafia, and I just found myself just saying, you know what, I'm gonna learn about them so I can figure out why I hate them so much. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, know thy enemy kind of situation. But now I got to learn, but like that's what I'm doing. Crap, let me go ahead and get I did not do my lesson. Give me a second, y'all. I'm slacking. God, I ain't gonna lie, I still feel terrible. Like, I still feel like garbage, but trying my best to just sort of feel better and just trying to challenge it. Let's go ahead and get this thing going. Why do you hate someone without knowing why you do already? No, I hated the mafia for a different reason. I just thought that they were just a bunch of bullies. And somebody was like, "No, they're actually not a bunch of bullies. They're actually pretty cool people." And then I just found myself just trying to learn about them. And the process, the more I learned about them, the more I realized, no, they are a bunch of bullies. Okay, what is this? All right, if I'm not mistaken, this is Meetup. They're not cool people at all. I know, right? Are you kidding me? That's right. Oh, come on, man. Hikurima. No, Hikurima. No, Kukurimasu.
作ります。
No, it's not. Sukurimasu. Okay. Oh, I know that. Like, I know that they're not cool, but you'd be surprised how many people you'd be surprised how many people I encounter who actually does think that they're pretty cool. Okay. Kakarimasu? Oh, God. Wait.
書きます。
No. What? Wait. Nomimasu? That's okay. Back when I first started dealing, I watched a bunch of mafia movies and binged The Sopranos. Seriously. Context. Phrasing. Context. Phrasing. You keep saying, like, if nobody knows who you are, you can't just say dealing cards. Back when I was dealing cards. Cards. I didn't realize her hips were that large. Who are you talking about? Oh God, dude, dude, no. Wait, oh God, I forgot what this is. Wait, it's not buy, because buy is kaimas. God, is it right or make? Oh boy. Let's see. There we go. Right.
書きます。
Buy.
買います。
Talk.
話します。
Make.
見ます。 書きます。
You know, Zari's a kid.
か。きます。
God, I hope this is right. Oh boy. All right, this is kakimasu.
作ります。
No, it's not. Wait, hold on.
書きます。書きます。
Okay, this is sukurimasu. Dang, I gotta do the ones I know first. This is nomimasu. Oh God, I forgot what nomimasu was. Oh God, I forgot which one was nomimasu. Oh, dude. God, is it this one or this one? Oh man. Okay, no, I'm gonna do the ones that. Okay, this is ikimasu.
行きます。
This is kakimasu. Wait.
書きます。
All right. This is sakurimasu.
作ります。
Yep. Okay. Oh boy. Let's pull it together here. I really don't want to like just click it and get the word. I want to actually know that I remember the word. Because I forget which one is nomimas. And I don't want to get this wrong.
休みます。
I knew this was nomimas.
作ります。
Sakurimas. Okay. Okay, this is rimas.
作ります。
Okay. This is tabimas right here.
食べます。
This is right.
書きます。
This is mimas.
見ます。
Oh god.
来ます。
I hate it when they make me type it. Wow, this is kind of the most
Ha.
effective I've ever been. No.
来ます。
Oh boy. Okay. Okay. This is gonna get challenging. I'm watching you from the lovely Dallas, Texas. Thank you. Thank you for watching me, Miss Nancy Wilson. I really appreciate it.
書きます。行きます。食べます。休みます。作ります。
Oh god. No mind me. I'm just learning me some Japanese, trying to figure this stuff out. Booyah. And Origato gozaimasu. Thank you. Alrighty. Okay. So also when you were doing your gyms for days. Oh yeah, absolutely. But I gotta know, Jovi, when you were doing your Jovi, when you were doing your when you were dealing your cards, did watching those movies kind of help you develop a persona in any way? Thanks for watching, Miss Nancy. I really appreciate that. Really hoping that I'm really hoping that it made you really hope that I really hope that you like this live enough to subscribe. Yeah, a persona. Like did you watch any of those movies and was like I'm gonna be like this guy. I'm gonna be an Italian white guy, Gonna come in there with a suit. Now here you go. Here you go. More cards for you. I'm Italian now, eh? Ai passano. That's another language I should probably like pick up on. Oh, you did subscribe. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Well, yeah, I'm very appreciative of that. My first shift boss looked like he was definitely a member of the mafia. Let me guess, was he kind of What was did he like always wear a nice suit, have slick back hair? It's like now it's like because here's the thing, you did work in a casino, so it's like you doing the mafia thing or you doing like the mafioso thing. That kind of makes sense for you to do. I could totally see that working out pretty well for you. Suits were a part of the dress code, so yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like I feel like the mafia. I honestly feel like the mafia motivated the whole like suits. Motivated the whole like suits being a part of the casino thing. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying though. It's like I ain't gonna lie, that's actually like pretty crazy to think about. That shoot. Okay, God, like now that I think about it, like I really have like it is kind of crazy that the mafia is like a big part of like America now because they do have like legitimate businesses that they run and like they are in fact like part of the they are part of like kind of there's a whole community dedicated to those a-holes now, and I do not respect what they do in any capacity. But it's like there's like a lot of people that I know that does. Good night. I'm exhausted from phone laundry. I'll wash 6 bags of laundry. Jesus, that's a lot of that's a lot of laundry. Yeah, that's rest well deserved. I hope that everything worked out pretty well for you, and I hope that I hope you have a good night. Love and peace to you, and I appreciate you for popping up. I used to work for Edward DeBartolo. They never proved his connection to organized crime, but I have no clue who that is. But with a name like that, that name just sounds like somebody who that I don't know that sounds like somebody I wouldn't trust around my money, or that's somebody who I wouldn't trust like to give me any money or anything like that. How did you work for a guy like that? Like, was he also into tattoos? Very successful businessman. He created the first indoor mall. Yeah, that definitely does sound like somebody who definitely does a crap ton of crime. Like, I don't trust the phrase businessman anymore because, like, yeah, okay. Once upon a time, people actually like sold things. He has malls all over the country. Yeah, he sounds like yeah. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I immediately don't trust this guy. He signed my checks. Okay. I used to manage the Fun Arcade in the Royal Center Mall. Okay, that makes sense then. Yeah, that tracks, man. He signed your checks. Yeah, I believe it. I mean, hey, you gotta show some respect to the boss. I mean, he was out there. He was hooking you up. God, man, I really can't believe I freaking just speaking of signing checks, man. But yeah, I get it. Hey, that's dope. Honestly, like we just happen to like knock that out. But like that is kind of funny that you did say, hey, I used to work for a guy who was under suspicions of working in organized crime. Maybe he did. Like, what did you think that he did? Did you think that he worked in organized crime? Did you think that? I mean, he signed your checks, but he's not signing your checks now. So it's like you can level with us here. Like, did you like what was your thoughts about him? You worked with the guy, so like were you under any suspicion? Let me see this guy because I never gave it much thought. He had thousands of employees. I never actually met him. Wait, you never actually like met him? You just okay. That makes it a little bit more silly. Nah, he just owned them all. Jesus Christ. Yeah, this dude's definitely a criminal. Oh my god. My goodness. This dude did some stuff. Yeah, yeah, that dude. Yeah, he's definitely yep. Yep. That dude, oh man, he definitely did some stuff. Like I said, I just saw a picture of this Edwin DePatolo guy. I just saw a picture of him and it's like, yeah, he did that stuff. He did it. Whatever they think he did, yeah, whatever they think he did it. Like I'm just looking at this guy. Yeah, he's whatever he did, he's guilty of it. I'm not even like yeah, whatever he did it. I don't care. I don't care how judgmental this sounds. I mean, I don't know. It's like, do I like? I understand how. Yeah, just look at him. Yeah, that dude did some. That dude did it. Whatever it is, he did it, and he doesn't care that he did it. I don't even feel bad about that. I feel like Uncle Ruckus at the I feel like Uncle Ruckus in that trial. That wigger is guilty. Okay, but yeah, like I said, like I might actually I'll read like one chapter out of I'll like read one chapter out of a book on my lives a little bit more. Like depending on like the book, I'll like read more of it. if people want me to read more of it. But I just read like one chapter of a random book, like each live or something to just sort of like keep me in a higher spirits because, like I said, I'm feeling low, but I'm also feeling like energized. I feel pretty good about it. I feel pretty good about doing that because that is fun. Did y'all learn anything though? Did it matter that I did that, or you just kind of along for the ride, or you're like vibing? What's going on? Like, is there a book that you would like for me to read on live? If y'all want me to read a book on live, I can. Okay, there's no problem, dude. It's like I said, I was just like reading a book about the mafia. And like the very first person that they acknowledged in the book to helping out with the sources was Rudy Giuliani. But the book was like made in 2015, so it was probably before the deterioration. And then by PKD, no. You know what? I actually might. I would actually look into that. I will see if there's anything by PKD up in here, and if there is, I'll read it. Just to you should read some African mythology. Oh, I should. I absolutely should. They ain't got nothing up in here about PKD. But like you gotta remember though, I'm only going off of like what I have, and I'm only going off of what I got in my that what my library has. So if my library doesn't have anything, then I don't have anything. Venus. You have not my Venus. Something new. Something new. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, I have to like go off of like what I have to kind of go off of what my library has in the whatchamacallit. So if it don't have um so if it doesn't have oh crap, they got a oh snap. They got the Born a Crime up in here. That's I actually read that before. Happier Times. And that was a good book. I was in the library today, and the children working there made me feel like I've wasted my life. What do you mean that? What do you mean by that? Oh, you mean the kids that was actually working at the holy crap. Librarian is one of my dream jobs. Not too old to get a degree to work in the library. What do you mean too old to get a degree? There's people who get their degrees like there's people that get their degrees at 80. What are you talking about? Too old to get a degree? That doesn't make any sense. I mean, I can understand if you're probably just too old to just want to go back to school, but too old to get a degree, dude. You can nah, man. As long as you want to learn, and there's a place for you to learn. Yeah, you should probably be able to do that. But yeah, I ain't gonna lie, man. I would totally love to be a librarian. Like, dang, I can't find any books on. Also, I can't find any books on how to. My dream job is to own a bookstore. I know that's right. Like a Blurtopia. Yeah. Honestly, that would be so cool. That's definitely something I know for a fact that I could appreciate also. I would love for a bookstore, thrift store, coffee shop. That's what I'm saying. It's like I do feel like that definitely would be kind of nice to see because like Lord knows I would love to be at a like I know that the library is like just imagine like being able to go to a library, get some coffee, maybe like buy some knickknacks all in one split, all in like one place. Like like a blurred based Barnes and Noble. Sorry, y'all. But yeah, like a blur based Barnes and Noble. Like I would love to be able to have that because that'd be see like you can still do that. You can still make that happen, Jovi. Like I would 1,000,000% support that idea. Like you can still that's still a thing you could like knock out definitely knock out the park for sure. Especially because that's something that I feel like as a society we kind of need. Like I would totally do that, and I feel like that would be kind of like you know what I really wish that people would do more book clubs. People should do book clubs. People should like be able to just hang out, read a couple of books together, and just yap about the books. You know, like what people like. You know that was the thing back in the start one. Oh yeah, okay, start a book club in my community in my unfurnished apartment that I don't even know that I'm still gonna have. You're not wrong though. What I am saying is that like I kind of wish that like more people would do that. Start one. I mean, so I can get murdered in my own apartment by a whole bunch of strangers. I don't know anybody out here, and I need to win the lottery first. No, you could just go back to dealing cards. Notice how I'm saying dealing cards. Notice how I'm finishing that sentence with the word cards. It doesn't have to be in your place. Where else would it be at? But yeah, like I said, but also like I've been talking about that idea since I met you, folks in that blur group chat. Library, someone else's place in the park. I don't know. Yeah, I guess you got a point there. That way, at least, like uh, I ain't gonna lie, like a book club in a park. That sounds like a phenomenal idea. That sounds like a really, really, really good idea. Like that really does sound like I do feel like that would be kind of like just hanging out, reading books at the park, talking about books. That could really like become something. Mm. Yeah, yeah, like a picnic. This hang out, maybe like hang out at the park. Read a couple books, maybe eat. Like eat a little bit. Yeah, that's actually like unironically a really good idea. Like I'm not even. I can't even knock. I can't knock that idea at all. I would probably get frolicking. Nah, I don't believe in that. That's a that, like you can't ignore the evil for that long. But like now that I think about, because like I read a lot of my whole thing is I read a lot of nonfiction books. I read a lot of I read a lot of nonfiction books. Like I don't really like read a lot of series like that. Like I haven't. I never finished the Harry Potter series, and that was before J.K. Rowling became what she was. Became like what she was. Like I never finished any. No, I did. I finished a series of unfortunate events. I know that I did finish. I did finish the Snicket series. Yeah, I did. I finished the Snicket series, and I think I finished. I'm trying to think of some book series I finished, but Snicket for sure, because I remember hating that ending. Um, God, I can't even think about any. I can't even think about any book series that I actually finished. I wanted to get into the Warriors. You guys haven't seen those videos of the black man frolicking. I have. I just don't really think that I could also frolic. Tolkien? No, I cannot. No, I have not read Tolkien. And I'm not. That's intimidating. Tolkien writes Bibles, dude. No, Tolkien, he writes the Bible. Like I'm not doing that. I'm not like I don't have it. I don't have the strength to finish that. I don't think I have the strength to finish that book, man. Shoot, absolutely not. Jay, like I did try to get into I wanted to get into the Warriors, but I could never find the first book. For those who don't know, the Warriors is a series about cats. No, so no, not the movie. Let me see if I could. Maybe I could find it in this one. His books aren't that long. Lord of the Rings is 3 books. The whole thing is long, but the individual books are manageable. Maybe so, but I don't see myself still being able to do it. Holy crap. The Warrior. Oh crap. I could read the Warriors. Let's go. Okay, cool. The Hobbit is better anyway. I don't believe in that better crap. I'm gonna actually read the Warriors when I get the chance. So I used to read the heck out because I wanted to read that book. Worst thing about Tolkien are the darn songs. All right, I forgot. You're not a big fan of music either. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. I initially started this thing off like I initially started this live off thinking that I was going to probably talk myself into committing the worst offense that I could commit. But no, I'm feeling a little bit better. I don't feel as bad. I still feel so nothing is better than anything else now. Shut up. I can't believe it. Okay. And I love music. Okay. I don't want to read corny songs in book style. Yeah, but like you're kind of a mean guy, so it's like are the songs really that bad, or are you just being you? Sorry, y'all. Just give me 1 second. What's up, Shiva? How's it going? Just dropped in. I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm doing a little bit better. I still feel like garbage, but it's not as bad as it was before. So I really appreciate you for popping in, checking in for a little bit. By the way, I love your name, Shiva Delphia. That is crazy creative, yo. My high school tennis coach gave me Shivam the Bomb as the name. That is dope. I like that. That is creative. That is creative. I dig that. That is Shivam the Bomb. I like that. Yo, your coach has a really your high school tennis coach got a really awesome like high school tennis, man. That's man, you was out here playing tennis. I bet your biceps are like massive. I hope all you did in the chat are well. Yeah, I like to think that they are. I was the only one I was melting down. But I do appreciate you like popping up, man, and coming in support. Coming in show us some support. Shiva D, physics teacher. I'm a skinny dude. No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, but like in here, I'm just gonna call you Shiva D. No biceps, okay. It's like no biceps, no problem. I have a sick backhand. I bet you do. Everybody knows about the backhand. Well, bow. Get him with one of these. You gotta flex when you do it too. So you just gotta give him that little. Gotta give him that little arm and just. Yeah. I call it the wrist breaker. There was an anime series called Prince of Tennis. It was actually like really good. They actually like used to incorporate like superpowers into the series. So you have like one dude who initially played baseball. He initially played baseball, so he would like play with like both hands on the racket, and he would just like power. He would just power hit, and that would just be like the scariest thing. It was like, man, this dude is good. Yeah. Yeah, that was a good show. Prince of Tennis. I liked it. Yeah, man. Like I said, if you ever do get bored enough, I definitely recommend checking it out. It was a really good series. They like I said, it was anime, so it's like expect like a lot of over the top tennis games. I hate sports, but most sports animes are pretty good. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like Yeah, a lot of them are like really, really good. Like I know there was one series, Blue something, that was actually like really good. But yeah, that was it's Blue something. There's but yeah, like Prince of Tennis, that's a good I like that. It was good. They actually had a live action movie that came about with it. So they had like superpowers that came with it. Slam Dunk is okay too. Yeah. I'm a I never finished Slam Dunk. I really do need to get into that because I remember I watched I read the manga. I never saw the actual series. I never saw the anime series, but I read the manga. It was actually really fun to read. That was like that one guy who they discovered because he just had this monster dunk. It was like he just had the ball and he was like, "Ah!" I think I found it, but in Spanish. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's pretty rare. Like, it's a pretty rare series. So it's like if you could, the Prince of Tennis 2 Capitulo. Yeah, like I said, like I don't really know if it's still like available, but I do. If you do decide to check it out, if you do decide to like be interested in, I definitely recommend checking it out. But yeah, I think it's kind of hard to get now. But I remember like they showed that on. I remember they showed Prince of Tennis on Toonami a long time ago. God, is Toonami still even a thing? I'll have time to go and watch my ex girlfriend sleeping like a creeper or a vampire or something. That's not something you announce. That's not something that somebody would announce. Hey, uh, she might be into that. I don't know. I mean, it's your ex, dude. Like what? No, that's not my business. Hey, do you, dog? Just don't eat her or whatever. I don't know, man. I'm not in your house. I'm also out. Gotta head to bed. I really appreciate you guys are like coming in. I really appreciate y'all for coming in and like comforting me in my very depressed time. You know, it was very it's very appreciative. Like yeah. Yeah, I guess it's a high time for me to like go ahead and hit the hay too, because that's definitely like my third time doing it. Keep up the good work. I really enjoyed the comedy sketch personal bit. I really yeah. I probably might do more of that. I'm not sure. Wait, hold on. Did you like that? Did you like it because I was in really bad? Maybe he loves her still. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. That's not for me to determine. I like that song. Like that song from Dogma. Some point I need to finish Dogma. That was a good movie too. Like you had I mean all star cast. I mean George Carlin, Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, Jay and Silent Bob. Who else? My mind's drawing a blank right now. Love and peace to you, Shivadelphia. Thanks for showing up. I really appreciate it. Um, Also, Chris Rock. Chris Rock. I remember. God, man, that was a good movie. I need to watch. Yeah, I need to watch that movie. because I never finished it. I never saw that movie from like back to front and from like beginning to end. And I'm compelled to now because it was a good movie, you know, and you learn something. But I'm gonna go ahead and call it. You know, like I said, the depression is really starting to kick in, but also, I mean, it's starting to like leave up a little bit. I feel less bad than I did when I started. So, you know, I really appreciate y'all for like, you know, coming in and, you know, talking with a brother or whatever. Very appreciative of it. But yeah. So just remember, Chris Rock was, I forget who he was, but I do know that he was an apostle, and it was like he said, you know, he was an apostle. I just remember that one line where he was like, "Going, we're going to walk there." Yeah, you ever heard of a fat apostle? Nope. But yeah, but I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. Thank y'all again for sticking around. Uh, Shout out to everybody who interacted. Much love to y'all. And remember, you're not just a person, you're an experience. You can either choose to be a good experience, bad experience, no experience at all. I would definitely recommend being a good experience because right now, as of currently, we are all going through it. And last thing we need is somebody to be a +2 to a +10 on a bad day. Don't be like the people that scammed me. Be better, you know? Um, if you can't spread love and peace, spread nothing at all. You know, last thing we need is more pain. But you know, just remember, being mean is mainstream and being kind is punk rock. Go with, you know, go against the grain. Challenge evil, you know. In the meantime, that's it. Love and peace and happiness to every single one of y'all out there. And I'll see y'all again in the next one.